Hello and welcome to the Great American Stampin Show. I'm Brandy Barnard and today I'm going to show you my best card using the Softly Sketched stamp set. And I'm competing against 3 other stampers who are also doing a card with this set. Your job is to watch this video, hopefully vote for me if I'm your favorite. You can find the other 3 contestants' video links right in my video description. Check them all out, decide who the best one is, and in 1 week we will be crowning the winner of round 3. For our assignment this week, we were asked to stamp with the Softly Sketched stamp set. This is kind of outside of my normal creative zone. As I looked at this set, I saw it as a challenge that these words are really, really tiny, so I wanted to pick a design that would be able to highlight that. I also noticed these 3 main images, they're just very detailed and beautiful. And so I wanted to use a technique that would be able to show that off so that you could see those pretty little details. I had recently done a little paper piecing type of project where we used strips of paper with a stamping friend of mine, and I decided to try that. So I used these little embellishments to create a color scheme. These are the ombre matte decorative dots, and so for my little strips of paper, I have cut Night of Navy, Old Olive, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, and Crumb Cake. So I've got 5 little strips of paper here, and I'm just going to stick them on to a piece of paper. This has already been cut to 5 by 3 3/4, and then these strips are each 1 by 3 3/4. So we should be able to pretty much cover this paper completely. So I'll just use my Seal Plus. I want these stuck down all the way. So I could use a tiny bit of adhesive, but I'm going to emboss on top of this, so I want plenty of adhesive holding everything in place. And we'll just start with the edge, line this up. Okay, if you have any bits that are not lined up, or like I have a little white showing here, I will just grab my paper snips and trim that off. So this is now going to create my little background scheme here. Time to go for some stamping. So I've taken the image that has some little flowers here. There's a butterfly on it. I've got it mounted here on my block, and I'm going to emboss. So let's stamp with Versamark. Get lots of Versamark coating this whole stamp. I want the butterfly to mostly land on orange. I want the stem to be kind of straight. So I'm going to go right about here. Good pressure. Okay, you can see the image there. Hopefully you can see it. If I tilt it maybe. There's a kind of like a watermarked image there, but it's a real sticky ink, so I can now put embossing powder over the top of it. This is white powder. I'll tap the extra right off of here. So you can see that powder is coating my image, and now I just need to heat it up with my embossing heat tool. I'll hold this up so you can see it as it melts. Once this gets really hot, it melts pretty fast, so. I see people swirling the heat tool a lot, but it's more effective to hold it really still. And then when you start to see it melting where you're at, then start to slowly sweep the heat tool across the image, melting all of the powder. Don't go back over any area that's already melted. It is possible to overcook it, so you don't want to do that. I am also going to do some more embossing. I've got this little greeting that says, "How amazing you really are." And I want this to fit right at the bottom of my navy strip. And I'll do the exact same thing and emboss that. Okay, so now I've got my white embossed images, and I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to the project by using my Wink of Stella glitter brush. It has a great name. It describes it exactly. There's a brush tip and glitter flows out of this. You can push it to make lots of glitter flow. So I'm going to do that. I want to get it really thick in the tip right now. And then I'm going to put my hand here as a kind of stop, and I'm going to tap it really hard. Tap, tap, so I can get some really nice splatter. Okay, so I'll set that aside. I've got a little on my mat here, so I'll just use a tissue to sort of blot up that extra. And then this is a water-based product. It's going to dry kind of slowly, so I'm going to set it aside for a few minutes, and we're just going to do some coloring in. Give some nice concentration of glitter on my butterfly and in the flowers. You can go back over this as much as you want to thicken up the glitter look. I'm going to flip this over and sort of blot it on my scratch paper. But while I've got it upside down, I'm rolling Seal Plus on here as well. We have just a thick Whisper White card base here. I did score it at 4 1/4. So this was 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it at 4 1/4. It's that really thick cardstock. And I have rolled so much seal adhesive on here that I've got it coated all over the back so that when I stick this down, it will hold it down nice and flat. I had to do that because I have embossed and it was a little bit kind of warped from the heat. Okay, get that centered just right. We'll flip it again to make it stick. Okay, so here's my card. Now, one of the other things I wanted to do was to add the word celebrate. So I have this cute die set. It is called Wanted to Say dies. And so this is what it looks like. It's got some little words. So you've got "You're too kind," "Feel better soon," "Happy birthday," "Celebrate." You've got kind of the finer words and then the more outliney piece that you could also layer it onto. So all I've pulled out here is the word celebrate. So this is what it looks like when you cut it out in white. But because this card is so flat, I've got everything flat on here so far, I wanted to make the word celebrate pop up a bit. And so what I've done is I took a piece of regular basic white cardstock and I've put a bit of our foam adhesive sheets on the back. This is just, the texture is a lot like Stampin' Dimensionals, but it's just a sheet of that foam. So I cut a piece similar to what the size of the Celebrate die is. And now I'm going to put the die down just like this, roll it through my machine, and I'll have that word celebrate, but it'll be all foamy pop-up style. So let's do that. Here's the word that has been cut. And then the backing is on here too. And the backing may not cut completely. You can roll it back and forth through if you want to make it release completely. But I'm just going to go ahead and lift the word celebrate out of here and lift it right off of the backing. Tiny bit of a delicate process, but worth it. Okay, so once you like how it looks, give it a nice push down into place. And I'm going to grab several inches of my linen thread. This is one of my favorite accessories, just to add a little something. Just making a little bow. And I'm going to use a single mini glue dot to hold it in place. I'll roll it up real tiny. It's like a tiny cannoli. Put it on the back of the knot here. And then I can place it just right down here. Kind of at the base of the C for celebrate. Let's go back now to where we started with our little embellishments. Of course, I want to add some of these on since this is what inspired my color combo. And we've got them in just about every color, so you could put on however many you think look good. I'm gonna do a couple up here, a big and a smaller. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool, which helps to pick up these little guys, make it a lot easier to place them right where you want them. And maybe like that. I always like to use odd numbers, these embellishments. Get that tone on tone. I love how these bright paper strips help to offset this image and make it really pop. The glitter gives it a little interest and a couple of really simple accessories. I was able to highlight these teeny tiny words by giving them a little space to really shine, and then complete that sentiment with a word from a die set. And I love how it turned out. I hope you do too. Okay, that was so fun, you guys. I had a great time stamping with the Softly Sketched stamp set. I hope you love my project. I hope you decide to vote for me. Make sure you watch my other competitors' videos and choose your favorite. We'll announce the winner soon. And make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos or other rounds of the Great American Stampin' Show. Thanks and bye.